Thank you for joining this lesson. We're going to look at indices. The question says, find the values of x. Underline the word values, which means it's not just a simple value of x, which satisfy the equation 3 power 2x minus 4 multiplied by 3x plus 3 is equivalent to 3. Allow me apply the law of indices, which we call the product law of indices. It says that if we have a power m, then generally raised to n, we just set a raised to the power of the product of the two indices. And at this point now we can split the first term here and say this is 3 power x, which has generally been squared, minus 4 multiplied by 3 power x, then plus 3. This is equivalent to 0. At this point now, because 3 power x is appearing twice, we can let it be a certain unknown. Let 3 power x be a certain unknown, say even y. So we will have y squared minus 4 multiplied by y plus 3. This is equivalent to 0. Then we can take now the product, because I want to solve it quadratically. Product of a by c, whereby this is 1 and 3. Product of 3 and a sum of negative 4. Two terms which when multiplied they give us 3, and when added they give us negative 4, negative 3 and negative 1. So at this point now, we can write y squared. Instead of negative 4, we have negative 3y minus y plus 3 equivalent to 0. We factor out y in the first two, so that will remain with y minus 3. Then in the other two, we factor out 1, so that will remain with y minus 3. This is equal to 0. We have the common factor as y minus 3, then y minus 1. This is equivalent to 0. This to mean that y minus 3 equals to 0, or y minus 1 equals to 0. At this point, we can say the value of y can be 3, or the value of y can be equivalent to 1. And at this point, we remember whatever we had let to be y is 3 power x. So 3 power x is equivalent to first option, which is 3 raised to 1, or 3 power x is equivalent to 1. At this point now, we can say the first value of x, because the bases are the same, then x is equivalent to 1. Or in the second case, we can say 3 power x is equivalent to, we apply what we call the zero index. The zero index says that anything raised to power 0 is equivalent to 1. And so, because the base is 3, I will say that 3 power 0 is equivalent to 1. So instead of 1, we introduce base 3, 3 power 0. At that point now, we can also say that it implies the value of x is equal to 0. So x is either 1 or x equals to 0. Thank you for following.